Alrighty, grade 6. So we're going to continue on with our science unit now, which is mould. So if everyone can get their science books out, ready to go, I really appreciate that now, thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at our lesson topics. So our WALT today is understand the components and factors of what a fair test consists of. Our WILF is we need a clear understanding of what and why we have fair tests. And our TIB is this is because we are about to conduct many fair tests throughout the rest of our unit. Okay, so we need to think back to our last lesson. So can anyone remind me what we were doing? Okay, Jess. Yep. Okay, do you think maybe you could elaborate on that a bit more? Okay, so in all fairness, we did have our 2 clip bags that we had our names on that we worked with our partners. And we placed our bread into our bags and sprayed one of our breads with water and the other one not. Okay, so this is an example of mine. So you guys will get yours out soon and then we'll be able to have a look. Okay, so we'll talk about our results soon, okay? Okay, so our inquiry question for today is, what is a fair test? So, can anyone tell me what a fair test is? Okay, Savannah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. So a fair test is a controlled investigation carried out over a scientific question. And our scientific question was, what will be the best conditions for our bread? So we know that we need to be looking at moisture or not with moisture, so dry or wet bread. Okay, so awesome work everyone so far. So today we're going to expand our knowledge on what a fair test is. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be conducting a fair test and we're going to continue this throughout the rest of our unit. Okay? So everyone have their pens ready? And we're going to be writing our acronym down. Cows moo softly. So some of you might think that sounds a bit strange, Mr. Hall. Why would we want to talk about cows? That's okay. So by us doing this, we'll be able to understand and remember that in our head. Okay? So for C, we're going to be looking. This is going to be C for the cows stands for what will we change? Okay, so our focus word is change. All right, so M for our mood stands for what will we measure? With our keyword being measure. Alrighty, and finally S for the word softly will be what will we keep the same? With our main focus being the word same. Alrighty, great work. So if everyone can copy that down, then that's just going to be in your science books, and make sure that you have your title nice and big, Science Investigation. Alrighty, great work, Brooke, nice and neat. Okay, so now, remember we were talking about last lesson, so we're doing an extended POE because we made a prediction. Okay? So what we need to do is, what did we change from our last experiment? So we had 2 components. So remember, you've got this in front of you to help remind you. All right, what was that, Michaela? Yeah, that's right, okay. So what we had was, we had dry bread and then wet bread, didn't we? So we were still keeping it in the same, we had the same bread, we had the same Ziploc bag, so bread. So you can continue to write this down as I go. Ziploc bag. And then what else did we have the same? Okay, that's a valid point. We did use the same pen to write our names, but I don't think that will affect how we learn, but that's okay. All right, so what were we measuring? Okay, so I will pass you around this picture, which is my representation of my experiment, which I left at home. But that's okay, because you guys are going to come back to yours, okay? So I'm just going to pass that around now. Okay, so what were we measuring? We were looking at the amount of mold that was grown. All right, thank you, Brooke, if you're ready to pass that one back. Perfect. So we were looking at how much mold was on the bread. So we had 2 pieces, remember, and we were comparing them. on mold growth. So what can we see from our second picture, Michaela? And that's the one that we had water on. Okay, yeah, awesome. So what we did was there was more mold, and that's because it was exposed to moisture, which is what we've talked about previously. Does everyone remember that? Great work. Okay, and what will we change? So we had our 2 pieces of bread, as you can see here, and we've changed one thing only. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So we were adding water to 1 piece of bread, and we had a dry piece of bread. Alrighty, great work. So now everyone in their book, can you please open up to a new page, and we're going to do a Venn diagram. Okay, so we've done a Venn diagram before, so if you can get that one ready for me now, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be comparing our results from the previous lesson, okay? So we're going to be looking at the dry bread, and we're going to be comparing that to our wet bread. And then can anyone remind me, what does the middle section infer? Yep, perfect, Chantel. So that represents what's the same. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this as a whole class, and then what you will do is then write your responses down after we finish talking about it, okay? All right, so we'll go to our dry bread first. So everyone can go and quickly collect their dry bread. Awesome, nice and quick, grade 6, thank you. All right, very good. So we're going to look at our dry bread first. And remember, if anyone needs any, just looking this way, thanks girls. All right. So what we're going to do is our dry bread. What do we think it looks like? It's still formed. Okay. It's retained the same colour. There's not been much of a change. And it still felt like bread, unlike our wet bread, which was really soggy, wasn't it? That's another point we can write down. So what's another word for dry that I could use, Jess? Stale, yep, great work. Alrighty, so we're going to write a few more points down. So our wet bread, we've got soaky, silly Mr. Hall. We've got soggy. We've got moist because it's still pretty wet in the bag from the moisture that it's been exposed to. And there are some green spots, just like my picture that I took earlier. Okay, so what is the same? All right, Savannah. So we've already discussed this briefly, but that's okay, so we'll just elaborate on that. So we've got the same bread, so we have 2 pieces of bread, but they're both from the same packet of bread. And then we have got the same Ziploc bags.
Unfortunately, most of that lesson disappears when you go off and you do an experiment for a while.
Okay, and what else? Friday. Yeah, the same location, so that's really important, isn't it? So that way we're keeping it the same. So just a quick question, what do you think would happen if we were to move it in my desk? Locked it away. Okay, so it would probably affect the results, wouldn't it? Okay, so now everyone needs to write this down for me. If you haven't already started, please do so now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create another extended POE. So using our knowledge that we've attained today from Cows Moo Softly, we're going to apply that into our next experiment. So if you could please hand everyone 2 Ziploc bags and 2 pieces of bread, and then what we're going to do is partner up, write our names on our Ziploc bags, and we're going to ask the question, do you think that the mold will be affected if it is the bread will be affected if it is in a cold or hot location? Thank you.